Hi there, my name is Cassandra, and I am the sole holistic nutritionist of Trust Your Gut Nutrition. And today I wanted to share a bit with you about the balance between the gut and the menstrual cycle. These are two areas of the main focus of my practice, and I'm excited to share a little bit about how they are integrated in the mind body experience. If you've been to one of my courses before, then welcome back. If not, then welcome. I'm so excited to share these accessible courses to you guys for free. I love to provide resources and make sure that that's something that everybody can have education on. So, welcome. I hope you enjoy this. Take some notes, save it for later. And here we go. Now, how can sex hormones influence the gut? So, hormones and the gut have a complex bidirectional relationship, meaning they bounce off of each other often, where the gut bacteria influence hormone levels by metabolizing them. While hormones can also be influenced by the gut environment. So, the gut biome, the gut brain connection, and metabolism. Hormones can influence the speed at which food moves through the gut. Those hormone fluctuations can cause gut upset, such as bloating, constipation, diarrhea, nausea, abdominal pain, which I'm sure most women out there have experienced. Some examples of that fluctuation is high estrogen causing bloating and high progesterone causing constipation. And hormones can influence the gut biome, the population, and the function. And while your hormones are fluctuating during your cycle, you are more likely to have a rise of cortisol, which is the fight or flight response. And that can also cause GI symptoms. And now, how can your gut influence the hormones and your cycle? So, proper gut health is essential for optimal nutrient absorption, including vitamins and minerals that are necessary for hormone production. An unhealthy gut with bacteria imbalance can trigger chronic inflammation, which disrupts hormone balance and leads to menstrual irregularities. When levels of estrogen and progesterone fluctuate throughout the menstrual cycle, it can impact the mobility and permeability. Permeability meaning the walls of the intestines. For instance, progesterone can slow down digestion. So, when progesterone levels drop when your period begins, it can cause diarrhea. When your period starts, or sometimes even during the luteal phase, prostaglandin levels rise, which can also cause diarrhea. And I will talk more about these further down the slides. Fluctuations in estrogen levels due to poor gut health can lead to irregular cycles like heavier bleeding, missed periods. Some research even suggests that PCOS and endometriosis are linked to microbiome imbalances in the gut. Bet you didn't know that. Gut menstrual cycle connection. Severe PMS symptoms can be exuberated by hormone imbalances linked to gut dysfunction. Managing a proper diet throughout the menstrual cycle that caters to the cycle stages and changes that helps your body regulate and correlate with these symptoms. I have a very valuable resource at the end of this deck that can help you get on track with this. Why should I cater to my gut hormones? Well, as you can see in this chart, excuse me, Our cocktail hormones are very complex and they are fluctuating on the daily, with many peaks and drops happening mostly during a week out of 3 out of 4 of the weeks of our cycle. So, again, our cycle is not just 1 week, it is a whole month, it's a whole lifestyle. So, that's why we should take good care of it. Here are some, just diving deeper into each hormone and their connection to the gut. So, going back to this slide, I'm going to go through each hormone that I have listed on this chart from left to right. FSH, what it is typically used for or known to be used for is triggering the growth of your eggs and preparing for ovulation. Its connection to the gut can directly impact the variety and abundance of microbiome. It can cause bloating and change of bowel movements that happens during the fluctuation of the hormone. And imbalances of this hormone can be linked to IBS. Estrogen, its main, its main, it's the reason why we have estrogen. I don't know why my words are slipping so hard today, guys. Has many functions within the ovaries. It is utilized in the uterus and the breasts, but its main function is to stimulate the growth of egg follicles. The connection to estrogen and the gut are that gut enzymes help break down and activate estrogen. So you can see why that is very important to have a healthy gut that is operating correctly. Because high estrogen can lead to things like endometriosis, cancer. High estrogen is a big risk that is becoming more common. So a healthy gut can help break that down. High or low levels of estrogen can influence the gut biome, which can be linked to IBS and IBD. And estrogen can directly impact gut mobility by influencing contractions in the colon and stomach, causing changes in bowel movements. So, if you think about where your uterus is and where your colon is, they're right intertwined with each other, front to back. So, of course, they're influencing each other. So, those contractions happening in the uterus can impact your bowel movements, or your inflammation or your pain and so forth. Oh, and okay, sorry. Moving on to the next hormone, LH. Its main role is to trigger the egg from the ovary, causing ovulation. Its connection to the gut is that it can slow down the movement in the digestion system, which progesterone is also known for as well. Progesterone has many roles within the reproductive system, but its main role is to thicken the uterine wall to prepare for the implantation of an egg. Its connection to the gut is that it can slow down mobility, causing bloating, gas, constipation, and reflux. I'm sure most of us have experienced that as well. Now, prostaglandins. Have you ever heard of these? I didn't learn about prostaglandins until a year or two ago, and it completely changed my perspective on things. And once I learned about it, I was like, why is this not part of the education that women learn when they get their period? It is fascinating to me that all this information is just lost into the abyss. We never find out how our bodies work. It hasn't been studied well enough. So here we are taking care of that problem, right? So, prostaglandins are a hormone like lipid compound that are meant to heal tissue during injury, infection, and illness. They help necessary bodily functions like blood flow, blood clot formation, inflammation, labor induction, menstruation, and ovulation. They're produced in nearly all cells of the body, and they act as signals to control these different processes. During menstruation, they are at their peak. Why? Because think about it. Menstruation is essentially breaking down the walls of your uterus. So it's causing inflammation. It needs repair. It is a blood clot formation, right? Or it's blood flow. So that's why the prostaglandins are there. That's their main MO. So they're at their peak during menstruation, and they trigger strong uterine contractions, which lead to those painful cramping. If you have higher levels of prostaglandins, they can be causing very intense pain, inflammation, and diarrhea. So, how do you naturally regulate prostaglandins? Now, I'm not sure if prostaglandins, actually, I believe they are something that you can get tested. It's not common at all. Um, but if you believe that your symptoms are due to the cause of high prostaglandins, or you just want to make sure that they're regulated as you should throughout your cycle to make sure everything's functioning properly, here are some ways to do that. A high fiber and anti-inflammatory diet. An anti-inflammatory diet essentially consists of plant-based foods high in fiber, protein, whole grains, healthy fats, and low in sugar, caffeine, alcohol, processed foods, all the good stuff that you want to have. Believe me, I've been on it for most of my life. Avoiding red meat, animal fats, refined grains, and vegetable oils, a low impact exercise, and supplements such as vitamin B6, vitamin D, zinc, and bromelain. Bromelain is an enzyme that is extracted from the stems of pineapples. It is commonly used for inflammation of muscle injury. But in this case, it helps balance the pro inflammatory and anti inflammatory effects of prostaglandins. I can vouch for bromelain. I have tried it myself, and I can say after a few consistent months of consuming it, I did see a difference in my symptoms, particularly from the luteal to menstrual phase when I was having those intense cramping and diarrhea. Diet through the different states of the menstrual cycle. So, as you've already seen, your diet can influence a chemical like prostaglandin. So, of course, your diet can help your hormones and everything else in functioning in your body. I am a big stressor of diet. Of course, I'm a nutritionist, but it is the most primal instinct that we have, and it is meant not for pleasure, but to nourish our bodies. So, how do you nourish your body during the menstrual cycle? During the follicular phase, during the follicular phase, you're going to have those complex carbs, lean proteins, vitamin B rich foods. And I realized as we're speaking, I'm slipping up and having so much brain fog during this lesson because I'm ovulating. So I need those healthy fats, cruciferous veggies, fiber, and antioxidants. Cruciferous veggies, if you don't know what they are You can research it really quick, just Google it. But it's things like cauliflower, bok choy, cabbage, a lot of those greens and hearty veggies, high in fiber. During the luteal phase, you want to lean towards high fiber foods, protein, calcium, magnesium. Magnesium's a big one. That's why we crave chocolate around this time, because chocolate has magnesium. So if that's the route you want to take, make sure you're getting that 70% cacao chocolate. Iron, I think that is a well-known one because we lose iron as we lose blood. And beta carotene, which is leafy greens. Lots of leafy greens throughout every stage of the process. The menstruation phase, you want to focus on the iron, protein, magnesium, healthy fats, and hydration. I would say iron, protein, and hydration. Actually, all of these things are very big right now. Iron and protein, you want to replenish what you've lost. Same with magnesium. And those healthy fats are going to help your inflammation and pain. I promise you, eat all the avocados that you can. And if you're curious about how your diet can help improve your symptoms and overall health and experience throughout your cycle, like I said, it can help symptoms. It can help so many different things. You may not even notice until you're doing it. But I wrote a whole ebook about it because I'm so passionate about it. I've tried it myself. So I encourage you to dive deeper into that resource because it is very important. The ebook is just $35 on my website, trustyourgutnutrition.org, and it features lots of educational information, recipes, herbs, home remedies, and holistic lifestyle tips for each stage of your cycle. If you don't want to buy the whole book, I also offer a printable chart on the website as well, which displays each phase of the cycle and the diet and herbs recommended to support that phase. Microbiome for the gut and reproductive health. Listed here is a short but helpful list on which strains to look for when buying for vaginal specific versus gut specific probiotics, along with what to look for to ensure your probiotics are quality and efficient, and always to pair probiotics with prebiotics, fibers. I strongly encourage you to look deeper into this and test which strains are best for you because everyone's microbiome is different. So you will always want a good variety when choosing supplements. And to learn more about probiotic strains and supplement qualities and references, feel free to check out my other free course, Maintaining a Healthy Gut Biome, on my website, where I dive deep into these practices and finding the right probiotics for you. I have probiotics here because they are very important for your digestive system, for your reproductive health. We need those little special organisms, a wide variety of them, thousands and thousands of them, billions of them, to help the function of our health. And the support of herbs. Along with being a nutritionist, I am also an herbalist, and I do not make any of my own products. However, if you are interested in buying specific products, especially for hormone health, especially for cycle health, head over to wildcraftbirthandbotanicals.com. That is my trusted herbalist that I work with. She has lots of good teas and tinctures and all the good stuff on her site and can work with you for custom blends. However, the short version is a list of some of my favorite herbs to support both hormone regulation and digestion. It's important to note here that while herbal medicine generally doesn't have as many side effects as pharmaceuticals, it is also important to look into an herb or supplement to ensure that it's right for your health history or the prescriptions that you are already taking. It is also important to note here that not all herbs work their magic overnight, especially when it comes to hormone regulation. That is usually something you won't see the effects from until at least 3 months of consistent consumption. Some of these herbs for digestion will work quicker, especially if they are consumed in the form of tea. Before diving into a hormone regulating herb like wild yam, which contains progesterone, make sure you test your hormones to ensure that you're not creating more imbalance. Chasteberry or chaste tree is a great herb to take if you're aware that your hormones are imbalanced. Red raspberry leaf should always be kept in the cupboard to aid through the menstrual phase. It is a big help. Holy basil and chaga mushrooms are great in response to PMS or PMDD when your mood and stress are disorganized due to hormone fluctuation. Because let's be honest, our hormones do fluctuate every single day throughout our cycle, and we need that extra support. So I encourage you to save this, screenshot it, write it down, find these herbs at your local apothecary, supplements at the store. However, I would be careful about supplements and their quality. Do a little research beforehand. Maybe I'll add another course on that here because it's helpful information. But use herbs just as much as you're using your diet. Having that synchronicity, having them symbiotically work together is very helpful for your system. Oops. Back to my notes. All right, so I touched a bit about my ebook here because if you want to dive deeper into some of these proper holistic practices for each phase of your menstrual cycle, you can head to the link on this page, follow that QR code, learn more about my ebook, Living in Harmony with Your Menstrual Cycle. A few things I've shared in this course are sneak peeks to the information you can find there. I honestly believe that all women should have access to this type of information and honor their cycle with healthy habits because, as I've shown you, the menstrual cycle is not just 1 week, it's all month, it's a whole lifestyle, and hormone health is very integrated with the rest of your health and wellness. So head to my website, check it out, learn more. And I want to just thank you for attending my little TED Talk here on the balance of your gut and menstrual cycle. I hope it's been helpful for you. I hope you learned something new to take away, and I hope you come back for more as I continue to launch new educational resources through Trust Your Gut. This is only my second out of the first 3. So if you enjoyed it, leave a review on my Google site. I should have dropped that in here, but I will in the next few. Or I would love if you are willing to donate. Something I will always offer is accessible information. That's why my coaching services are sliding scale, and these courses are free. So if you enjoyed this short course and would like to donate or pay what you can, I would greatly appreciate that. You can follow the Venmo and PayPal handles here. And if you're interested in working one-on-one on more of this, on your diet, on herbs, on your symptoms, your gut health, your menstrual cycle health, please contact me. Hit me on my website, trustyourgutnutrition.org, or just email me at cassandragrace@gmail.com. And thank you for showing up for yourself. All my love to your guts.